Life is over. I'm gonna fly away. Tell me, oh, yes, I will. Anybody wanna fly away? If you don't mind, take it in the morning, won't be very long. You're gonna look for me, they gotta be going on home. Going on to heaven, gotta sing and shout. Ain't nobody there who can put me out. And I'm crying about it. Welcome, Vnetwork Radio listeners. Welcome to another edition of Music Entertainment Talk with your host, Don Paget. Hey, we have a special group in the house. The chosen few of Omaha, Nebraska is in the house on today. And we ask you to tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a relative that we are on. And make sure you share this broadcast. And without further ado, I'm going to bring my brother on, Mr. Courtney Jackson, all the way from Omaha. How you doing, Mr. Jackson?
I am blessed. God bless you. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm blessed. I'm telling you, highly favored. Yes, sir. You guys are doing it up in the gospel music industry. Man, your music is going all over the world. We did a 2-hour special. We featured your music on it. That song that we just heard, "Fly Away." And I'm telling you, it's so great. We've been getting so many requests for your music. Man, I'm glad that you guys are here. Thank you so much. I know you have been going through a whole lot this whole last 3 weeks, and you pressed your way on. And God bless you. God bless you.
God bless you as well. Thank you for having us. We really appreciate you supporting our music and the ministry, as well as inviting us to be a part of your radio ministry.
Yeah, all the way from Nebraska. I'm telling you, man, Nebraska. I mean, we got quartet all over the world, but Nebraska. Tell
Yes.
us about your group, man.
Um, we're a group of young men that we're family. We're a tight knit group, just like any family. We don't always agree, but we always come to a common bond to make it work and to do what we have to do. We don't all live in the same state, so it makes it a little tough sometimes, but we get it done, and we've continued to get it done, and the Lord keeps blessing us daily. And so just happy we got several young men. My brother Marcus Myers on bass, as well as background. My godson Eric Smith, he's also doing the background and some lead, as well as my brother Barry Williams is on guitar, and Anthony Taylor is one of the keyboard players. He's playing auxiliary as well as background. Mr. Ray John Barnes is also on keyboard with us. Mr. Timothy Corbett is also on keyboard with us. And occasionally we have my cousin Larry Evans on guitar with us as well. and then we have a 12-year-old drummer, and
All right.
I mean he when I tell you
Wow.
he is somebody's drummer to see, and that's brother Anthony's son, which is Caleb Taylor. And the Lord has just been blessing us. Dad can't travel with us anymore, but he's still with us in spirit. And so my daughter also travels with us as well, and she does some of the driving and kind of take care of a few things for her. Her name is Courtney Jackson as well.
All
So,
right.
but I mean, we just thankful. We're just thankful. We don't do it for shape, form, or fashion. We just love to minister to God's people,
Yeah.
and we try to always uplift, and that's what we just want to uplift and be a blessing to God's people.
One of the featured songs, "I'll Fly Away." What made you go back and take that traditional song and just revamp it and just do something new with it?
Uh,
With the project.
well, it was a song. I just decided to take the song and put a new feel on it. I mean,
Hmm.
it's an old traditional song and put a new feel on it.
Hmm.
Um, and then one of my cousins, which is he has a group here in the city, and I decided to invite him to do it with me. Good group of young men and spiritual sons that um, very good group. They just don't haven't had the chance and the exposure. Um, for the world to really hear them. But and so I brought my cousin on, and oh man, he did an excellent job at it.
Yeah, and I just want to say to all of our viewers out there, and so many are chiming in and said this is one of the greatest gospel groups around. Mr. Edward Douglas, thank you so much, and we got Mr. Gerald Tyson on, a prominent promoter in the
Yeah.
gospel music industry, and so many are chiming in on a Facebook chat, and people are just loving your group, the Chosen Few, Omaha, Nebraska. Yes, yes, yes. And you all recorded several projects. Get Right single, which you came out in 2020. Let's talk about that project.
Um, Get Right was a project that we had. It was a full project that we had released initially back in I want to say 2010. This was before we changed the name of the group. Uh,
Hmm.
we, when we started off, we were under the name of Second Chance. We
Hmm.
changed the name of the group, and some new people come along. Some old people had left, um, and so the song had stayed on Billboard for quite a while,
Hmm.
and so it was brought to my attention that maybe we should redo it again.
Yeah,
And so we redid it again, and we re-released it um, last year, and it done pretty good again. So
yeah,
reached the Billboard again, and
yeah.
the Lord, we had a lot of great help pushing it this time. One of the gentlemen that you were just speaking of, Mr. Edward Douglas, he's been pushing us since day one.
Uh-huh.
Well, not since the very beginning, but since the last few years, he's really been pushing us, and he really pushed that song to get it moving up the chart.
Yeah,
So we want to
yeah.
thank him as well.
And I just want to show our viewers out there your new project. It's called Triumphant, the Chosen Few of Omaha, Nebraska. And I'm telling you, the song I'll Fly Away. Fly Away is a wonderful song. You've got to get this song in your archives. And I'm telling you, it's going all over the world. We've been getting so many Vnetwork Radio. When I jumped on today and said I was going to be playing your music, so many. I mean, before I can even jump on, I mean, I've seen the numbers just go up.
Oh
Yeah,
wow!
and it's like, man, I mean, we've got some great artists, but you guys from Omaha, Nebraska, and I want to thank Mr. Black. Who's a
Yes.
well, and he's from Omaha, Nebraska, and I'm telling you, he's out there in the chat room showing the love for Nebraska. Yes, yes,
Yes, sir, Mr. Allen Black. Yes, sir.
yes, yes.
Definitely a good friend.
And so thank you all. And yeah, so what got you guys into the gospel music?
Me myself, I started off. My dad, well, in my family, you had two choices. Um, you were either going to be in music. You had no choice to go. You're going to be in church, but
Mm-hmm.
you were either going to be in music or sports or both. And I chose both. And so at the age of, I would say 3, I was following my dad. My dad was a gospel quartet singer for years. And I followed them around. They would stand me up on the table. I have a big acoustic guitar, and they would tie my dad's necktie to tie it around me to keep it up. And over the years, I fell in love with
Yeah.
the music. And then when I became 7, and I never forget it, one of the prominent groups around here had invited me to come with them. Now, of course, they were already established, and so, but they knew I loved singing, and they just wanted to keep me around. And
Mhm.
that was none other than the Gospel Travelers of Omaha, Nebraska.
All
And they
right.
kept me around, and they began actually grooming me. Now, when I was 3, of course, I was just stumping around. I didn't know anything, but with the Travelers, they began teaching me and grooming me, and ever since then I I love those guys. They some of those, the ones that are still alive,
Yeah.
they still stay in touch with me. And I just I that's where it all started for me at.
Yeah, during this time, so many are being, with this COVID situation. You guys have been steadfast and unmovable, and continue to, climb the charts. And tell us what it's like, being an artist, because we want to hear from the artist what it's like, out here singing and writing the music, recording the music, getting earplay for the music. Tell us a little bit about that.
There's different facets to it. Writing the music, um, some songs that we are just releasing, I had the opportunity of writing years ago, and just had the opportunity to record them. Um, as far as getting the music out, Mr. Douglas played a big part in getting it out, and pushing it to the stations,
Mm-hmm.
and pushing it to several different stations. And then there was a lot of people along the way that had already known me as well, and some of the other members, they knew them, and so we just kept pushing it to them. And eventually, as it started being heard, it starts to catch on. um I, in my opinion, I mean, it still has a long ways to go, but it's gaining some ground.
Yeah, I just want to again thank Mr. Alan Black from the AJDW Conversation, who airs on the Vnetwork Radio every single week on Saturday at noontime. I just had to give a shout out to him
Yeah,
and their crew, AJDW Conversation, and also we want to give a shout out to John Tay Ruffin is in the house. Yes, sir. Uh,
definitely. Good
yeah,
friend of mine. Good friend of mine.
yeah, and so many are chiming in the chat room. You guys have performed with so many different artists in the gospel music industry. Tell us some of those artists that you've been performed with.
Um, well, woo,
I mean, you guys have been on.
it's gone. I can. It's been the Mighty Clouds of Joy, Lee Williams performed
Mhm.
with here recently. Uh, well, last year, shall I say? We did a concert with Leandria Johnson, the Williams
Mhm.
Singers. Been in concert with the Williams
Wow.
brothers.
Yeah.
I've actually been in concert with the Neville brothers, as well as the Five Blind Boys of Alabama
Wow.
and Mississippi. So,
Man.
been in concert with quite a few artists.
Yeah. And tell us, I see that you guys tapped in to with the Leandra Johnson, tapping into that contemporary market. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, do you think as quartet artists we should be able to tap into that market? Now, those contemporary artists, they're coming up with all these different songs and they're sampling off of quartet music. you know and so by us being able to go into the mainstream and tap into those different markets, what is your feel on that, and compared to, I mean, your music and you guys going into the contemporary mainstream
uh,
industry?
my feel on it is that we are traditional quartet artists, but
Hmm.
but my feel on it is because uh, we come from different denominations, so to speak, as far as church. We have backgrounds in both area. So what I've always tried to do, I've always I've always tried to implement uh, on projects. I've always tried to have a little versatility where it wasn't just all straight quartet. Some was a
Hmm.
little praise and worship.
Yeah.
Um, we even got some songs where a couple of them got a little what you call funk in them. but
Yeah.
but and I think the biggest thing about any of it, because music is universal, is how you interpret it and how you present it. I
Hmm.
believe music is the universal language,
Yeah.
and so I think that as an artist we should be able to go and fit. We should have material to fit in any type of venue. On this project, I even have a country song, believe it or
All
not.
right. Yeah. That's what
So,
I'm talking about.
I mean, and that's one of the things, is just trying to be versatile, understanding where the setting that you're in,
Hmm.
and trying to minister in that setting, because a lot of people get caught up on the contemporary versus the quartet, but we can bring it all together if
Yeah.
we really put forth the effort.
Amen, amen. And that's one of the things about having a project, and a lot of times a quartet artist, they don't want to change; they want to stay stuck in that box. And you have to have, just like you said, you got a country song, you got to work on some contemporary traditional songs. You got to have that versatility in order to hit that mainstream,
Yes,
market, because they want to hear that different sound, especially in the Southern gospel. Now, when you talk about hitting a country song, yeah, you got that steel guitar and that steel guitar sound, and and that country feel and that country vibe. Oh man, they love it because that Southern gospel market is a whole different market. And then you got the contemporary, you know what I'm saying? And now here you got a choir, you got all these different contemporary artists. You know what they doing? They sampling off the quartet.
yep. They drive in almost every
Yeah,
song now.
yeah, yeah. And then and so they're making their music versatile, and what we've got to do is we've got to evolve, and we've got to say, hey, we got to get a mindset to say, hey, we're not going to be stuck in the box. We're going to be versatile in our music, and we're going to take it to the next level, because we all, during this time, we've got to think ahead.
Yes,
And let me say that again to all the quartet artists, in the quartet music industry. We've got to think ahead. You see what I'm saying?
definitely.
If we can get a million views, just think about it, Courtney, man. A million views. You guys, if you guys have a million views, and all the quartet artists have a million views, man, we can take this gospel music to the next level, and they will be dependent on us, and we don't have to depend on them. We don't have to beg and say, hey, could we, do this, and could we do that? They'll be coming to us and say, well, Mr. Jackson, we would like to sign you.
You know, the one thing that I say about that is that, wi- in all sincerity, we have, and I'm not speaking of the chosen few. I'm speaking in quartet as a whole. We
Hmm.
we have the we have the audience. We have to bring it together and also move it to a new audience.
Yeah.
Because we have now, as you were speaking just a moment ago about changing. There's some there's some up and coming artists that are really moving the needle on being versatile, and
Hmm.
I have to give credit where credit is due, and
Right.
they're really moving the needle on being versatile. But the biggest thing is about getting it heard to mainstream. See, they have to hear it first. If it's just like having something good and don't nobody know you got nothing something good but you. It doesn't really do any good. You already knew you had something good. Doesn't
Right.
do anybody else any good if you keep it to yourself. And so there's really some artists out here who's definitely branching out in as far as the versatility. It's just about finding the connection to put it out to the masses.
Hmm. And just we got Tupelo, Mississippi out in the house. Yes, yes. Somebody chime in there. Hey, I'm gonna open up the phone lines. 860-461-7577. You want to give a shout out to Mr. Jackson? 860-461-7577. We're here on the keyboards and in telephone, and you can give us a call here in the studio. 860-461-7577. Or if you just want to type in your love, type in your question in the chat, feel free to do so. We're here with Mr. Courtney Jackson, the chosen few of Omaha, Nebraska. They're doing it up in the gospel music industry. Now, uh, those of you, don't forget 860-461-7577. 860-461-7577. And we'll uh, patch you in with Mr. Jackson. All right. And yeah, and I'm just reading all these comments out here, and people just sharing the love out here on the chat. Mr. Jackson, now you all have not stopped writing. Is that correct?
No, we haven't, because we actually, even though we have a project that has not yet been released, we are also going to have to get in the studio fairly quick to start on the next one as well.
Okay.
So no, we haven't stopped writing, and actually we have some old songs that we want to redo. We have some new songs. So we are preparing ourselves for that as well. So no, didn't stop writing. Here, you know, the last few months I've kind of been in a slump. You know, a lot of death in my family.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the devil attacks me as far, and then wanted to make sure I stayed on top of our health, and that was a big concern. And so,
Mm-hmm.
uh, but no, we're back at it, back on the grind again, and trying to do what we do.
Well, I'll tell you, and it's been so encouraging me, to see quartet artists, like yourselves, being steadfast, during this time, and
Yes.
unmovable. A lot of times people just throw up both hands and give up, but you guys have maintained, and that's one thing is that you guys have to maintain, and continue to, get that music out, because we are radio stations. I'm telling you, we're 24-hour gospel, and my email box is like nonstop.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's like nonstop. I mean, recording artists from all over the world, like yourself, and that does my heart real good to see that our gospel music artists as a whole,
Yes,
between choirs, soloists, quartet groups, you name it, all the mainstream artists. I mean, it's like nonstop, and that's one of the things about our gospel. Our gospel is going to continue, on. The word of God is always going to stand. Um,
definitely.
and that's one of the things that I love about our gospel artists, and I love about your music. What is some of the best advice that you've gotten in the gospel music industry?
Some of the best advice that I've ever gotten was that no matter how high you get, or no matter how high God takes you, you must always remain humble, because there's always going, and this is the thing that I've learned, um is to always show love to others, because there's going to always be someone else that's just better than you. And
Hmm.
and when you know what you're doing it for and who you're doing it for, none of that matters. You have to stay humble.
Hmm.
The Bible tells you that low is the way.
Hmm.
And so a lot of artists have, um, they begin to be elevated, and they lose focus of who they're doing it for.
Hmm.
The vision seems like it's changed to, instead of doing this for God, that they're doing this to pump and prime them own selves. And that's what not what it's about. We're in a time right now that people need God more than ever before.
That's right.
And if we can be of a help, we can't save anybody, but we can, if we go out and give them the word, they may
Hmm.
be compelled to come.
That's right.
So, and the Lord would save them at that point. So we just want, and the one thing I say about being humble is because in this industry, you never know who you're entertaining. And what
Hmm.
I mean by that is is if you're so proud and prideful that you think you're too good to speak and converse with certain people, you may never know whose life you may save just by them having that conversation with you. And
That's
it's
right.
and that's why even no matter how high that the Lord elevates us, want to always be able to stay low and humble. You have to be
Amen.
available.
Amen. All right. Great advice. I'm telling you, for gospel music artists. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, to book you guys, how can someone, promoters, could we have promoters out there, um, uh, you know, uh, and want to get your music or book you? How would they be able to book you?
If you wanted to book us, you can give me a call, which is Courtney Jackson, and the phone number is 402 917-0701. If
Hmm.
you're looking to get the music, you would want to contact Pure Harvest Entertainment at 615-828-3363. Also, our email address is the chosen few, all spelled out, of Omaha at gmail.com. My email address is C underscore JCKSON at hotmail.com.
All right. And once again, those of you that would like to book the chosen few, I know they're ready and they're willing to come to your town all over the world, even international waters.
Yes,
And
yes.
we would think HOD Radio World Network was streaming live from international, in Nigeria and Africa and all those parts of the country. And I tell you, it's so amazing how we could just take a live stream and just shoot it all over the world.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you guys want to book the chosen few, 402-917-0701, 402-917-0701, Mr. Courtney Jackson for booking. And if you need to have music, and you want to get the latest project, Fly Away, and so many others, you can reach out to Pure Harvest Entertainment, 615-828-3363, 615-828-3363. And you wanted to say something?
Also, all the singles are on all digital outlets. So
All right, all right,
iTunes, Amazon, Google Play. So we're you just listed under the chosen few of Omaha. We have three singles that are out there right now that you would be able to get. And we definitely would appreciate your support. If you would like to be a blessing to the group, we do have PayPal and Cash App as well.
all right, all right. God bless you. And also, just want to love this cover here. Another song, which is a great song, Mainline. Yes. Uh, Here is the chosen few of Omaha. I love that cover there. Yeah, Mainline, and you got to get that project also with an awesome project that we've been playing here on the V Network Radio, and all the projects that we've been playing is so great. And you guys are doing it all over the world, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys here in the Northeast real soon. You
Definitely,
know,
definitely would
all,
love to come.
I'm asking all of our promoters out there to make sure you reach out to the chosen few. We've got some promoters here in the Connecticut area, Mr. James Dorsey, and so many others that want to book gospel groups to come in for this 2021 season and 2022. And yeah, so get your music out. If you need your music, make sure you go out to digital downloads and download that music and support. And that's the main thing. Support our groups,
Appreciate
support
it.
the quartet groups. You know, they do a lot in the gospel music industry. And you know, with this COVID, some of them have been not doing concerts, and so we want to make sure that we support our gospel artists by getting their music. Mr. Jackson, I want to give you final words that you would like to say to all of our fans out there.
Just want to say, we thank you all for supporting us. We don't consider anyone fans. We consider them friends and family.
All right,
Um, like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of upcoming talent, and I've definitely been enjoying some music that I've heard. The Souls of Creation, the Spiritual Soldiers, my cousins from right here, the Spiritual Sons,
all
Sean,
right,
Mr. Sean Brown, Deacon Sean Brown, and the boys, uh,
yeah,
and definitely I and my little brother D Morton and Gifted.
gifted,
All
yeah.
there's just a lot of new artists that are
Woo.
doing a great job. And now also I definitely want you all, for those of you that will be in the area, I would like for you all to meet us in Montgomery, Alabama,
All
October
right,
the 8th through the 10th for the Premier Gospel Music Awards in Montgomery, Alabama. You will see more information as it goes by. That is an award show and convention that we have attended the last 3 years, and the Lord has really blessed. There's probably right now, it looks like there's about 50 artists that are going to be there. So we're going to have definitely a shouting good time.
all right, all right. Hey, look for more music from you all, continuous music, and looking forward to seeing you guys in concert in the Northeast up here in Connecticut.
Yes, we love to come.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and all over the Northeast here, music artists. So thank you so much for accepting our invitation, and much success to your music. All right,
Thank you, and God bless you, and thank you
all
for
right,
having us again.
all right. God bless you. God bless you. All
God bless
right.
you.
All right. Yes, we just heard from Mr. Courtney Jackson and the Chosen Few of Omaha, Nebraska. I'm telling you, they're doing it up in the gospel music industry. Hey, don't forget tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, we got a treat for you. We got Mr. Michael Boone. Yes, with his new CD release project, Possible. We'll be here Tuesday. That's tomorrow night, 8 o'clock p.m. We want everybody to come back 8 o'clock p.m. on tomorrow. We got Mr. Michael Boone, and we've got some other upcoming artists coming in. We got a new young group called Covenant, and they're doing it up in the gospel music industry, happening on June the 13th. Make sure you share those flyers. I'm telling you, share those flyers. We're going to be live June the 13th right here on the V Network Radio with a new special guest, Covenant, and they're They have a new project out, and they're doing it up in the gospel music industry. Young group, I'm telling you, young group, doing it up in the gospel music industry. So don't forget all these young people. We got all these young artists. We got Mr. Michael Boone on tomorrow night, and we got New Covenant coming up, and we've got more artists coming up on the V Network Radio, bringing you the best in gospel music right here. Gospel music artists right here on the V Network. Hey, if you haven't received, we haven't received your music, make sure you send it out to us. I'm gonna put our telephone number and email on the screen. You can give us a call 860-461-7577. vnetworkradios@gmail.com. Hey, if you have an artist that would like to do an interview, make sure you contact me. Give me a call, send me an email, send me your EPK. If you have an artist, if you're a label and you want your artist to come on to the V Network Radio, because we bring the best in gospel artists right here on the V Network Radio. Yes, we do. Send me an email, or you can give me a call, 860-461-7577. All right. See you tomorrow night. Don't forget to share the flyer. Michael Boone will be with us tomorrow night, 8 o'clock p.m. live right here. And make sure you tell a friend, tell a neighbor, tell a relative. God bless. See you tomorrow night. Get some rest.